welcome along and welcome back to Attingham Park. The time has come. We're standing out here by field 2, which we finished harvesting with the sugar beet last time. We have 203,000 in the bank, and that is more than enough to buy it. There is a cultivating contract on it at the moment for 9,000, but I don't want to cultivate it. What we want to do is probably mulch it or plow it, depending, or both, depending on what needs doing. So let's purchase this then. So look at that expected yield bonus, 123%. It is almost all loam. This is just such a great field. So let's buy it. Yes. And we still have 47,000 in the bank, which is amazing. Right, what is the condition of this field? Do we need to do anything to it before we get it scanned? Let's have a look. Does it need ploughing? No, it doesn't. It does have some small and some medium stones on it. So there is a stone problem on here that won't completely get rolled in, unfortunately. But it doesn't look like a massive stone problem, so we may not worry about that now. What we do need to do, though, is get it mulched, because none of this field is mulched. I think it is still harvested. Yes, it's still harvested. So let's go and get our mulcher. And you know what? No, I don't want to do that. I want to divide the field first. So we'll get the stuff out and get this divided first. So if we go into here and if we did need to plow it, there's a subsoiler available, which would have been perfect. But we don't need to plow it, so we don't need the subsoiler. Right. So my thought is that we're going to divide this field into 3. We're going to go firstly out from here and straight across to divide it down the middle and create a bigger patch. And then we've got this tree. Yeah, I think this tree about here-ish. If I turn around here, is where we'll divide the rest of it on. And, yeah, try and get it going out straight across here to about there-ish. And that will give us 3 decent-sized fields out of here. So let's get the first one. Landscaping. We want to paint. We want a forest ground grass, I think, like that. And the way I'm going to do it is to change the shape of that and then enlarge it as well. Like so. And do I want it that size or that size? I think we'll go slightly larger size on this. And try and get that line going straight across. There, that is pretty good. So then we just go straight across the field like that. And yeah, that's a pretty good one there. And then I'm going to come across here. And yeah, we'll divide it at this point here. That actually might create quite a small field there. Let's have a look at this. Do I want to create it here? Or I think we probably want to go across about here-ish. Let's get out of here and have a look at this map. So ideally, yeah, I think we want to be about here-ish. So let's mark that with us, which I think is about there. No, further along. About here. Right between those two. Yes. That is roughly where we want to be to divide these remaining 2 fields. They'll be slightly smaller than the big field at the top, but I have an idea on that as to exactly what we're going to do. So back into our construction and our landscaping. I am standing there. So painting wise, enlarge that. Oh, let's get the right one first. That one, and enlarge that. So wherever I am, there. We want this out here and that across there. Switch it to the circular one. And then out across there like that. And actually, that is not the size I want. Wow. What is going on there? Okay. I take it slower across this time. It seems to have been going across the field. This is going to be a little bit more wonky than the other because it moved a little too fast. That should get it though. Yeah. How's that? A little bit of weirdness down this edge. And we may have to, yeah, I may have to hire a plow to sort this. But in general, that's okay. That's all good. Right. So now that we've done this, I'm going to see if we can get the mulcher out on here and actually mulch these fields. And to do that, we're going to use our county because that's the tractor we've tended to be using for this job. Still has its awful turning circle, but should work fairly fine. It's a little bit of an odd job to be doing in January with a load of snow on the ground, but I think it's all right. We're just getting stuff off the surface. Oh, we have got the rollers in the way of the mulcher though, because I was expecting to be using the roller now before the mulcher. So we'll move that out of the way. We've got our lime spreader there as well, but we won't know that until we've actually got these fields nicely scanned. So we're going to get the agronomist in. We'll get them to scan the fields as we have done on this field. As we've done on this series, we're not using the small soil sampler ourselves at all. Just put this over here. We are going to need the weeder, but not for a little while. In fact, we're going to sell the weeder in the near future, because if we discovered we need a hoe really on this farm instead of a weeder. So yeah, that's going to go in the near future. And I have actually got a new set of weeder, hoe mods that we'll be able to use. So that should work out fairly well. Back this into here, hook this up, and away we go out to our fields. So we've got a couple of months really to get these fields sorted. I'm going to probably jump ahead at the point where we're ready to start seeding again. So if we can get this sorted today, that would be great. Let's unfold the mulcher and see if this actually works on here. Line it up. Don't know if you can mulch. Oh, no. Is that mulching it? That appears to be mulching it. Yes. Oh, and we need to be right up to the edge. But yeah, that is mulching it. Fantastic. And drop the gears down a little bit and along the side of the field we go. But this is going to help us no end in getting the maximum out of this field going forwards and going into next year. Now there's a small issue. We've had a load of snow come down onto the ground. I cannot see where we need to mulch. And I think we might have to stop doing this job at this point. In order, well, simply because I can't see what I'm doing and it is all under a whole pile of snow. Probably not the greatest thing we could have been doing anyway, but really, really annoying that I'm unable to continue that. So let's just park this up in the shed, I think. We'll leave the mulcher on it because that is the first thing we're going to be doing next time. Well, as soon as the snow melts. What we can do, though, is we can go and get this field scanned by the agronomist. He can dig under the snow and get some of the soil up. So let's go do that. And yeah, you can see where we've been doing that up the top. These are actually 3 reasonably similar sized fields, which is quite good. So let's click on that area there. We are going to have to purchase the soil information because the way we're running this series, we can't scan it ourselves. So let's scan that. It's going to cost us 10,000 to do it. That's fine. That's kind of what we expected. And look at that. Loam, and loam with a little bit of silty clay in it. 14 is going to be fairly horrible of a field then, I think, if we look to buy that at some point. Yeah. So field 2 is just a really good field. And absolutely the next place we needed to look at expanding into. So it has dragged our environmental score down because obviously it does need a load of work. How are we sitting for everything else? So we have some pretty poor pH across it, so it is going to need liming. And from a nitrogen point of view, well, everything from a nitrogen point of view is pretty bad at the moment. So we're going to need to rescan here. Look at all of that outdated data sitting down the side of that field there. That is well, we're not using it for the automated stuff, but yeah, our nitrogen levels and everything are horrible on there. And then we've got these big patches of outdated data. That's horrible. We can't rescan that area at the moment. And then yield, we have no idea on the yield at the moment because obviously we haven't actually harvested anything on there. And seed rates, we don't have any seed rates for field 2, interestingly. Oh, that's because we haven't tried seeding them yet. So yeah, we didn't need to do the standard in the middle of there. So let's yeah, I think that might be it for today on the farm. I'm going to head back to the hotel, and maybe in the morning we'll have better chance with less snow on the ground. Well, it's the next day, and if anything, the snow has actually got worse here on the farm. This is not good. It's got deeper. It's still snowing, and yeah, there is absolutely nothing I can do. I am wondering, is there anything that we need to do on the farm? Otherwise, I don't think there is. I think we have sold off all of the crops that we were planning to sell. In fact, I don't think we have any crops left in our silos at all. Let's have a quick look. Yep, no, silo is completely empty. So for the second day in a row, we are snowed in. We cannot do anything. Well, it's 10:30 on the first day of February, and finally, all of the snow has melted. So we're going to jump back out. Oh, not into our ford, but into our county. Jump out into this and go and set this up on the field, I think. Getting stuff done. We need to get all of these 3 fields now completely mulched and limed, ready for planting. Well, we just need to get one of them, actually. And looking at where we've already seeded on here, we've seeded field 3 and we've seeded 12B. And those 2 are both seeded with wheat. So ideally, I want to get some spring wheat into this top field here to offset the fact that field 3 is slightly smaller than our other fields on the farm. So yeah, we're going to pair this one with field 3. So we need to get this mulched and limed before we can before we can get it seeded. So let's get this let's get this mulched. And then we're looking to get our other fields similarly sorted fairly quickly. I'm hoping I can lime on top of the mulching. That should be okay. We really, really need to be able to do that, though. So, yeah, let's crack on with this. We'll get this done, and then I can start looking at possibly sorting out some courseplay courses across these three fields in order to do the mulching at the same time as we're getting lime in on this field here. So I'm going to leave this tractor now mulching this field. We'll put a hired worker on it. Meanwhile, we're going to head back to our shed. And I want to go and grab the 8340 here. And we're going to head down to the shop. And I think we're going to grab a plow. Just a really small plow. Don't need anything particularly big. Why aren't you going into gear? Go into gear, please. There we go. Yeah, we're going to go and grab a really small plow and go and get that field sorted at the edges. Just fix the mistakes that we had. Not a massive amount of plowing that I want to do, but just enough to do that. We've got our greenhouses are nicely covered with the cold weather we've had recently. So those are good to see. And they're still producing stuff, so we need to make sure that they stay supplied. The pigs are doing okay at the moment, which is good. We basically maxed out their food at the end of the year, so they're running fairly nicely. And in here, we just want the smallest plow we can get. Just something that's maybe a meter or so in width. So what have they got in here? Plows. That would do it, or wow, that really would do it. What is the width on that? Half a meter. Half a meter may be all we need, actually. Attacher type big, attacher type small, attacher type big. Yeah. So this is basically just doing edging, and it's so cheap. I'm gonna buy it. We're not looking at doing whole fields with this. Just looking at doing edgings and cleaning up and sort of, you know, doing bits around the sides of a field. It's a tiny little plow, this. Wow. Look at that. That is just dinky. On the back of this 7840. That is insanely dinky. But then it's only a half-meter plow. So what am I going to do with this little plow? We're going to go and do along the edge of that field there. You can see there's sort of a half-meter where it's really messed up. And really looking really horrible. So I want to go up to that, and yeah, we're just gonna go along here and just clean this up. Half meter should do it. If it doesn't, then we can easily come back on ourselves. Create fields is on. Yeah, down, and just try and drive along here as straight as we possibly can. Yeah, it is going to require us to do a couple of goes with this. That's fine. We'll just clear this up and then make the field look a little bit better. Don't mind if the line isn't perfect. I just don't want all these ridges going across the field. It just looks pretty awful. There we go. So that fixes that bit. And then we've got another little bit just along here. So down and there. And then the other side doesn't look to have fared quite so badly. I think that's because I went back over it a bit and redid it. So yeah, it's not looking too bad. We are pulling up now a couple of big patches of rocks though. So we may have to de-stone these fields before we continue, even though there's not that many big stones on here. A lot of it is just smaller stuff. But yeah, that will do. It's a little bit of a messy edge, but it's good enough. We also need to create an entrance for this field here. So I'm going to say the one that's being worked on at the moment by the mulcher, that is field 2A. 2B will be the one closer to the farm, and 2C will be this one here. Now, there should be somewhere... Can we put... I think we might be able to put a gateway in at the top here. How wide is this gap? So there's a few gaps in the hedges here. There's a gap there. There's not a gap here. We've got a fence along this bit. And then, is there a gap here? There is, but it's got this in the middle of it. Yeah, the fence is basically broken here, but I've got no way. Don't think I've got a way of removing them. Let's have a look in here. See if they will delete. I don't think they will. No. So they won't delete there. Our best bet, by the looks of it, is going to be... Yeah, this bit here. Unless there's another gap up here somewhere. I don't think there is, no. So it's either that, so either we go through this smaller gap here, which I think is going to be trouble for combines later on. Oh, actually, no. Nice big gap here. Let's do that. Right, so painting. I want just dirt. I want it changed to a circle and then fairly large. Coming off here into the corner here. There we go. Good entrance into this field here. It's an exit for the other field as well, but to be perfectly honest, I'm going to use it mainly for this. So take it down, trick that right up to the corner. There we go. Perfect. Let's get the tractor back and have a look at that. Yeah, I think that works. As an entrance into that field, that's pretty perfect. I could extend it the other side, but you can see basically what the same thing going on there. And the same thing in the corner over here. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that as it is. And that is pretty perfect. And then we've got this little plow here, should we want to make any adjustments later. And with that sorted, this tractor is actually coming to the end of field 2A, which is fantastic timing. I'm just looking at the stones on here. Yeah, I think we're going to have to ignore the medium stones for this year. Maybe get a stone picker on here next year. One of those things where... Well, I don't know if we run a stone picker over the top of this, whether that will cause an issue for our mulcher or not, or whether whether it will cause an issue further down the line. We could give it a try. I'm tempted to give it a try. We've not got any use for any of the stones, and we have run stone pickers on here before. I kind of want to look after my equipment. So yeah, we've got the money. We will go and lease a stone picker and run it over to A here. And then when we've done that, we'll be able to go and we'll be able to sort out the lime on here as well. But this is all mulched and looking good, so I'm quite happy with this. I might get this running on 2B then with a hired worker and see how we do with that. While on here, yep, we need to go and find a stone picker and get these stones picked off here. If I was to run the stone picker on the harvested stuff, we would never be able to mulch it. So it is important for us to mulch it first. I think if we try and do it then limed, we're not going to see the stones. It's going to be much, much harder. So, yeah, there is a definite order to getting this done. And I think we're approaching it the right way. Time to find out while I set this off going this way. So I was about to get the stone picker with the 8340, but it looks like our lizard is actually having, or this tractor is actually having a problem on this field with the shape of it and with the hedges and everything. So it's time to go and define a course play area. So come into here, draw custom field. We'll do all 3 fields while we're here. So 1 there, 2 there, there. Thankfully, these, while not square, are fairly straight-edged fields. So save that. Yes. Let's select that, rename it. So this is 2A. Like that. And then I want to edit it and go round. So I will now go round. We'll select all of these points, get them in the right place, and we can go from there. Bit wonky in a couple of places, but otherwise, I think all of these are in roughly the right spots. So I'm happy with that. Let's escape back out of here then. And then we need to do our second field. So draw custom field. I think roughly there for the first one. There, although that's going to take some curving. And there. Save that. Yes. Select it. Rename it to 2B. Okay, and edit this. And, oh, not far off. That actually was better than I expected. Right, let's do this one now. And hook the corners up. And away we go. Almost done for 2B. And I love how adjustable this all is. And, yeah, how easy it is to do this in FS22 with this version of Courseplay. Should be able now to go down to the bottom corner. We'll set it to do a fairly big headland for this, I think. Because, as I said before, the turning circle on this tractor is awful. But we should be able to now get it to do this. Let's go 3 headlands with this. And that should give it enough space to turn around. So into this corner here. This is where we want it to finish. There we go. Right, hired worker, create job, Courseplay field work. Target position is there. Target field is there. We want to open course generator. 3 headlands, as we normally get with this tractor. Generate me a course. There we go. Nice and quick. And we're up that top end there for a tiny start. And should work out fairly well for us. So, first waypoint. Show me the start point. And like that, we have another Courseplay course. Or another Courseplay setup generated. 1 more to go. And then we'll go and get the destoner. And get working on 2A. And there we go. That is field 2C done. Does it give me... Doesn't give me, I don't think, the actual size of these fields. There we go. Oh, yeah. So 2A at the end is 1.83 acres, 1.6 acres, and 1.87 acres. So 2C is actually the biggest of the 3 fields. 0.98. So how do these compare? 2.62, 2.94, and 2.76. Wow. So yeah, there is it's pretty cool that we can see the rough field sizes. This could have gone further over that way, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. How big is this? 2.54. Is that our biggest field? How much was this? Oh no, 3.76. No, our biggest field is 12C, Really, that should have been paired with field 3, but never mind. We can just leave these going now. And yeah, I'm actually going to stop this for the moment. There is a quick job we need to go and do with this. Otherwise, next time we're going to find ourselves in a position where we can't do the job we want to do. Over on this bit here, before I set the hired worker off, I left a load of headland at the top end of this field. And we just need to cover that. I think I'm happy with where 12C is and the size of 12C. The thing we've got with it is we needed to put the entrance in somewhere, and where we've broken the field and actually put the connecting piece across works well for us. Whereas had it been made smaller and field 2B bigger, we would have found that it would have been a lot more difficult to put the entrance to 2C in, and we'd have found ourselves compromising a bit of 2B to get that field in there anyway. However, that's all good. Let's see if we can get this finishing off with this. I think we're probably going to be better off picking up next time with the destoner. And so that will be the first thing we do. It is coming up to 20 to 5. And yeah, I think we'll just leave this piece of kit running. And I am going to leave this video here for now. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.